Hey now guys, what is happening? I am back into the old position here with the epics right behind me. I would have been here a little sooner to do this review, but it's raining cats and dogs outside and I was very hungry, so I just came back from dinner. Horribly delayed. I was hoping there would be some sunlight, but there isn't. Anyway, who gives a fuck? I'm back, guys. Volume 5, The Fall of Asgard. Finally got to read it. Guys, let me just say, this is probably my favorite epic. I know, it's a shocker. Aside from X-Men, Thor Volume 5, The Fall of Asgard, easily one of the best epics I've ever read. And yeah, my favorite. And it's written by Stan Lee. Oh, well, the last two issues were written by Jerry Conway. But from 175 to 192, it's all Stan Lee. And it's ironic how I lambast Stan Lee for being a horrible writer and a shitty writer. But if there was an award for most improved comic book writer, it has to go to Stan Lee. Because, some writers are just out of the gate the best or the worst. But Stan Lee is easily the one you see such a huge leap and bound in terms of just writing, like technical writing, in just simple, going along with the times. I don't know how to say it properly. Just for him to go like from over here to over there, like going from the Beatles, from a boy band to Sgt. Pepper and White Album. You guys are probably not Beatles fans. I don't know how old some of you are, but trust me, if you're a Beatles fan, you know what I'm talking about. There's before Sgt. Pepper's and then there's after. Stan Lee definitely had his before and after Sgt. Pepper, and in every way, his writing, being succinct, brevity, humor, and I mean the social commentary. Man, the world must have been fucked back in the 60s. I mean, it was like Vietnam and hippies and drugs and all that stuff. And Stan Lee really utilizes Asgard as an allusion to what's happening in the world. Not just America, but in the world. Not once, but twice does Asgard deal with Ragnarok and the end of the world, and Earth too nearly comes to an end. Oh my God, where do I begin with this, guys? I'm just blown away at how, dare I say, epic. Epic is the word that came to mind. How epic this whole volume is. For those of you just tuning in, it's Volume 5, The Fall of Asgard. Covers Thor 175 to 194. So it's 20 issues, no crossovers, no annuals, nothing. It's just 20 issues of Thor. And The Fall of Asgard, interestingly enough, The Fall of Asgard pertains to the first three issues, 175, 6, and 7. 175 is titled The Fall of Asgard. But interestingly enough, throughout the 20 issues, up until 194, there really is a loss of power. Like, Odin loses power like a couple times to Loki. Loki manage it from the start of the storyline, or excuse me, from the start of this volume to the very end. Loki is in control of Asgard. Loki, he has Asgard, he loses it, gains it back through treachery, but it's not one long storyline. It's not like 20 issues of one storyline. No. We get the 3-part Fall of Asgard, like I said, 175, 6, and 7. Then we get, what happened? Oh, then in 178, 178 and 9. Oh, okay, no, wait. Or is it 178, 9, and 80? And 81? Loki again, he's run away. He had Asgard in his claws. And then he created this enchanted mask where he swapped faces with Thor. So now everybody thinks Thor is Loki and Loki is Thor. It was really crazy. Just, oh my God. Like, it's Surtur. Surtur, because Loki took over, and this is like in 177. Odin goes into the Odin sleep and gets cast off into this dimension where people are dead. Not people are dead, but it's like what was it? What did they call it? It was like the sea of the, not the sea of the dead, but it's just, so Odin is in a capsule placed there by Loki. He's in the Odin sleep, and then Balder has to go rescue him. But then it sets up for the later storyline where they fight Infinity. It turns out Infinity is the dark side of Odin, created by Hela. So now Hela also is established as a fucking cunt villain. And she wants to kill Thor. And there's a two-parter from 189, 190, where she's trying to find Thor and touch him and kill him. I'm going all over the place, guys. Guys, this is such an epic storyline. So yeah, Surtur, because Odin is not in power and Loki is a fucking coward. He's like, I don't give a fuck about Asgard or everybody. I want to rule the world. I want to rule the planet, the universe. Fuck yeah. That's Loki's mentality. But Surtur wants to destroy Asgard, and everyone's like, but Loki, we're gonna die, and you're gonna die if you don't help us. And he's like, who gives a fuck? So then, of course, Surtur comes, Thor saves the day, Thor, Sif, the Warriors 3, all of Asgard. Balder goes to rescue Odin. Odin comes back. Oh my God. And I swear, like, Odin goes into this Odin sleep like 3 times. I thought, like, he's supposed to go into the Odin sleep like once every 1,000 years, but it's like after every couple of storylines, he's like, okay, I gotta go into my Odin sleep. Actually, not of his own free will. Like, he's forced by Loki, by who was it? I think, was it Hela? No, mostly it was Loki. But I mean, he literally had to go into the Odin sleep 3 times and had to be awakened because Loki tried to take over. He tried to go into his sleep, and then Loki took the opportunity to get all these allies, these trolls, gnomes, demons, Norns, just to invade Asgard. And of course, he kept getting thwarted. Thor fights Dr. Doom in 182, 183, which again had a social commentary. This chick named Cosette, whose father is imprisoned. He's building missile silos in Latveria. So Odin, or Don Blake, the whole Don Blake Thor thing is still happening. So she sees Don, and Don is like, okay, well, I'll be Thor, and I'll go to Latveria, and I'll free her father. But of course, Dr. Doom is a big asshole, and he's tough to beat, even for Thor. So that was that 2-parter, 182, 183. Then 184 is the start of, from 184 to 188, it's the 5-part Infinity storyline, where when Odin was in the capsule in some dead dimension where Balder had to save him, Hela apparently created this thing called Infinity, and it's basically the dark side of Odin, and that possesses Odin. And it's like this big intergalactic claw that just sucks everything, and then it possesses everybody. The Warriors 3 get possessed, Odin gets possessed, and it's like all up to Thor to save the day. Hold on, I'm gonna put on my ugly, dirty glasses, my nerdy, stupid glasses. Look at this fucking artwork, guys. Look at this. Look at how awesome that is. Fucking Odin. Actually, 180. By the way, so 180, 181 had Neil Adams. Neil Adams, who we know from X-Men and Batman and Detective Comics. Right there, Stan Lee and Neil Adams. They teamed up together. This is when Loki switched places. And so this is actually Loki in Thor's body, and Thor's in Loki's body. And of course, nobody believes that Loki is a good guy. They don't want to believe it. Thor's a bad guy. So it's just mayhem aplenty. But I love Neil Adams' artwork so much. I love it. This is Now we're in the Bronze Age, guys. No more Silver Age crap. We're now dealing with bronze. Look at this. They end up in Mephisto. They have to fight Mephisto during the whole Loki Thor swap. So the Warriors 3 and Sif and Balder go down to rescue Thor inside Loki's body against Mephisto. Absolutely loved it. Love this artwork. So good. You guys, I mean, if you go on Amazon, there's a copy that's $999. I paid $119.75 for this book, guys. This is the third. It's tied with Master of Kung Fu Volume 1. It's tied for third place for my most expensive epics, which I will do a video on, so you guys will see. But look at this artwork. No wonder this costs so much. Look at that. Just one splash page. It's just, Carnilla, she manages to get Balder to side with her, like disavow Odin, because she's in love with him. Carnilla, the queen of the Norns, is in love with Balder the Brave, and Balder's like, no, but you're a witch, and you're a cunt, and I hate you. And she's like, yeah, but I love you, and I'm giving you my heart. And he's like, no. And she's like, okay, well, fuck you. But she saves the day, oddly enough. Carnilla saves the day. When Infinity threatens Asgard, Loki even has to man up and help everybody out. So it's pretty fucking awesome. Oh yeah, the Silent One, he was also part of the whole Infinity thing. Hela actually killed Thor. Like Thor was like aged to death, and then the Silent One gave him his life back. Here's 186 of Thor, which is the back cover here. So this is the back cover, right? What does that say? Hela strikes will Asgard fall. Oh, it falls. It falls a lot. Look at this. The whole Earth. Oh yeah, this is the Warriors 3 are possessed by Infinity. Earth is being flooded and hit with earthquakes, so it's like the end of the world on Earth as well as on Asgard, because the Odin sword is slowly getting unsheathed, which is what will signal Ragnarok, and this is caused because of Infinity, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? We can't put the sword back in. Only Odin can do that, but Odin is possessed by Infinity, which is his dark self. But the finale in 188 is so fucking epic. No pun intended. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but you guys probably will never find a copy unless they do a second print. But oh, I love look, Carnilla. She's a hot babe. Her and Sif look alike. Towards the end, like 192, 3, and 4, Loki back in power because he's got the Odin ring, and Odin is in his Odin sleep. He wants to marry. Look at this. Look at look at Odin's face. Explosion. Truly amazing stuff. Loki wants to marry Sif because, you know what I said? Here's Loki's problem. Loki needs and wants pussy. I don't want to be vulgar. I don't mean to be vulgar, guys, but let's be honest. He wants pussy, and there are no women on Asgard except Sif, apparently. It's just a whole big sausage fest on Asgard. And I know, I think I read somewhere that Loki is bisexual. I mean, he's been a woman, he's been a kid, you know? So, yeah, I think Loki's a little freaky deaky, but what's my point? Oh, yeah. Loki wants pussy, and that's why he's angry. That's why he's such a cunt, because he can't get any. Look at this fucking Odin expression. By the way, John Buscema takes over from Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby finishes, I think, 177 or 178, and then Neil Adams fills in for 180, 181. John Buscema does, I think, 178, and then he takes over with 182 all the way through the end. So no more Jack Kirby. Kirby, the king is gone. King is dead. Hela's just, now she's a villain. Now she's making herself known. It's always like these women that are the villains. Hold on, there's Carnilla, there's Hela, there's the Enchantress. It's like nothing but women are bad people. Oh man, the fucking stone giants. Look at this sequence of Thor aging and dying and then coming back to life, to being young, thanks to who was it? Oh yeah, Hela. Hela did it. Hela. So Odin also kills Hela, and then it's like, oh fuck, but if Hela dies, then things can't die. Things on Earth can't die. So animals, bugs, suddenly there's pestilence, there's plague, there's overpopulation, there's overcrowding. I just love this fucking expression of Odin. Just his face is just like a real face almost. And then then Loki takes over. Right, what was it? They had just gotten done, hold on, what was this? 191. Right, so they just went to Earth to take care of Hela. They come back and they discover Loki is back in power. So evil. He's back in power and he's got the Odin ring, and like nobody can do anything about it. So from 191 to 194, it's the 4-part finale of, I guess, the Fall of Asgard Part 2. That's basically it. And everybody's involved. Fandral, Hogan, Volstagg with his humor. I love the interplay, the interaction between the Warriors 3. Funny stuff. Sif, you got Balder, you got Carnilla. It's like soap opera, it's comedy, it's drama, it's action, it's animation, like cartoons. It's like everything is all rolled into one, and I love it. And just John Buscema, look at the expression. Guys, how can Jack Kirby be the king when you've got John Buscema and others who just are so much better as artists? Look at the expression on Loki's face. Just, I am Loki, the god of mischief and evil. That was my voice when I when I read it. So much fun. I mean, the end result is so and Silver Surfer in 193. Silver Surfer. It's funny. Stan Lee finishes his run with 192, and next issue 193 is his own creation. At the time, Stan Lee didn't want anyone writing the Silver Surfer except him, but Jerry Conway did it. So I guess Stan is like, okay, I'm an editor now. I don't have really much to say except yes or no. But yeah, he helps him out against Duroc, the Demolisher. Dumb name though, but so, and then while Surfer's dealing with Duroc, Surfer goes to Asgard, takes care of Loki. Loki wants to marry Sif. Hold on. And I gotta show this. Oh yeah, the Storm Giants guarding Asgard. He even has to fight Heimdall, because Heimdall, everybody now listens to Loki. Loki has the ring, so he's the king, and Odin is in the sleep, the Odin sleep. Yeah. What do I want to show you guys? Oh yeah, the bridal gown, that splash page right there where she's gonna marry. Thor walks in and he's like, "What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck are you wearing?" He's like, "No." He's like, "My lady Sif." What? My lady? And she's like, "Oh, what a... Oh, no. He goes, "My lady Sif, what new nightmare be this? My mind be whelmed by a dream." Whelmed. And she's like, "Oh, my lord. My lord Thor. Oh, my lord, I prayed thou wouldst not find me so. My prayers were spent in vain." And like, meanwhile, all these like hot chicks are like making her dress. The detail is so spectacular. And Sal Buscema, John's brother, does the inks. No more Vince Colletta. I'm so glad, because Vince Colletta was a shitty inker. You got Sam Granger, you got Joe Sinnott, you got Sal Buscema. Who else we got? We got a lot. Vince Colletta did some of the early ones. Bill Everett, Sam Granger, Jim Mooney, Joe Sinnott, and Sal Buscema. Oh man, and then the last issue, 194. It's action packed, and then it ends on another cliffhanger, because apparently Loki we've not seen the last of Loki. Loki laughs in the well here, and Odin realizes, oh no, I don't know. Who knows what happens next, but something tells me it has to do with the Dark Nebula, right? Well, let's see, hold on, right here, and I bring that up because Volume 6 is into the Dark Nebula. Jerry Conway and John Buscema at the helm. So goodbye, Stan and Jack. Hello, Jerry and John. Yeah, covering 1972 to 1973. Mephisto, look at that. Mephisto, right? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me just put this on. Yeah, looks like everybody, the Warriors 3 and Sif, they're all coming after Thor. Mephisto's at the helm, and I'm thinking this is Mangog. I don't know. Mangog comes back, but I'm pretty sure, either Loki hooks up with Mangog or Infinity. Who knows? But this is going to cover 195 to 216 of Thor. So again, just like volumes 4 and 5, volume 6 is just going to have nothing but Thor issues, no annuals, no crossovers, nothing. I kind of like it like that. All right, guys, that is it. Leave your comments down below. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you think, guys. I wish you guys a lot of luck in finding a copy of Fall of Asgard, but if you do, that's reasonable, on eBay maybe, definitely get it, guys. I highly recommend it. This is probably my most favorite epic that I've read, along with Doctor Strange Volume 3, Captain America Volume 2 and 3. I mean, wow. Stan Lee, like, wow. Stan Lee shocks me, you know? And then he quits being a writer and becomes an editor. Like, right when he's actually hitting a stride, Stan Lee decides to quit it all and move on to other things. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you in a couple days. Keep on reading those epics. And I read them so you don't have to. Right? Okay. Bye, guys. Have a good night.